I've got a 30-year background in building companies around the world, and the reason that I think I can offer Brazilian companies some advice in terms of their global expansion is because on the one hand, I spent a long time building BT's business in Latin America and was the guy actually that established that business back in 2003. And I then went on to be the CEO in Nigeria for the Nigeria Telephone Company, to reshape Asia Pacific for BT, and I ran South Africa and many other countries for organisations like IBM and AT&T. So I believe I've got a pretty strong view and understanding and background in how businesses should be built around the world. And my question is, why aren't Brazilian companies looking, or Brazilian IT and technology companies, looking outside of their own region, other than looking north into the USA? Why aren't they looking to grow their businesses outside of their region? In other words, why aren't they focusing on the UK? And that being the springboard, if you like, into the EU. If we look at the facts, if you like, from a GDP point of view, the EU is much bigger than the USA. GDP in 2010 was around 16.5 trillion in the EU, and that's about 2 trillion more than the USA. And if we then look at what's happening around Europe, it is clearly a bit bigger and it's a better target in many ways than the USA. USA companies themselves are targeting Europe, and a lot of what they're doing is through acquisition, not trying to build a business and grow it, but in acquiring businesses. And if we look at the technology space as a whole, it grew enormously in 2010 over 2009, from 76 billion globally in terms of technology acquisitions, from 37 billion in 2009. So there's clearly a move within the technology spaces to grow and to acquire. Why the UK though? Why should the UK be, if you like, the centre of excellence, the place that Brazilian companies should establish themselves? Well, if we look at some of the core markets that Brazilian companies specialise in, particularly in financial services and financial technology, the UK is recognised by everybody around the world as a centre of excellence for that particular sector. We know, for example, that because of deregulation, because 80% of European banks are headquartered in London, because there are more banks in London, based in London, than there are in New York, and because there's a focus now on the way in which security should be handled within the financial sector, it clearly offers an opportunity for those companies. Major interest from people: the cloud, mobility, big move in data centres and security services. And if we look outside of financial services, there's some very exciting things happening with things like the connected car and making automobiles and vehicles wired up, if you like, to take advantage of the cloud. And again, if you look at Europe, there are some very, very large auto manufacturers in Europe, and even in the UK, where the UK manufacturing business may well have gone from a motoring point of view, but major players are still here. So why wouldn't the Brazilian companies be here? Their speciality is in that applications development space. Small niche companies can target organisations. Equity is there now. There's an alignment already within the market between cash-rich trade buyers. There's a lot of private equity sponsors around, and these guys now have funds to invest. So with the improvements in financial liquidity, there is an opportunity for these companies to get into the UK and acquire businesses. And there's a window of opportunity right now, I think, for mergers and acquisitions. So I'd like to see some of those big Brazilian companies like TOTUS and Tivit, Biocque and Itautec, and some of the other smaller apps and software companies really getting themselves into the UK, targeting the massive EU market. So where are you, and why aren't you here?